So, Steph, we're in round one. Pick number 5. The Bengals go with Jamar Chase. The Dolphins are on the clock at 6, and they go wide receiver. It's not Heisman winner Devante Smith. It's Jaylen Waddle, his teammate at Alabama, a wide receiver you haven't been quite as high on as a lot of analysts, a lot of NFL experts. Clearly not as high on Jaylen Waddle as the Miami Dolphins, not as high on Jaylen Waddle as me. So, Steph, I want to know what you think of this pick, Jaylen Waddle to the Miami Dolphins. Does this draft capital, does this landing spot change how you feel about his outlook in the NFL?
To a degree. I do like the landing spot. You love the draft capital. I just see Waddle as a guy with a lot of risk. And when I'm looking at other prospects that also got draft capital, that also tested this year, that also had true monster breakout seasons where they commanded huge target share, were efficient. Those are the guys that I'm betting on because I think there's just a lot of unknown with Jaylen Waddle. And when, especially in the first round of my rookie drafts, I'm not ready to take dart throws yet, man. I'm not going to start doing that until the mid-second round. And right now I have Waddle as my wide receiver 6 overall in this class.
Wow.
In my rookie rankings, I do have him at the 204. So whether you want to call that early or the mid-second, and I know I'm way below consensus. But if you just take the college helmet out of it, I don't think there's much really to like with Waddle other than, oh, he's really fast. Oh, he's really exciting. We've seen a lot of these speed guys burn out in the league. Maybe if we had some more ideal measurables. I mean, we know he's 5'9", 180, but without that 40 time, without a true...
You don't need a 40 time, man.
...burst or agility. Just tell me why I'm wrong on Waddle, because I want to hear this, and I'm probably not going to change my mind just because this is not the type of player that I typically like, but that's a personal preference thing, so I want to hear your takes.
First of all, you don't need a 40 time. You don't need testing metrics and measurables for every player. And honestly, look at Jaylen Waddle. He went 6th overall to the Miami Dolphins. The only reason you test as a college prospect coming into the NFL is to boost your draft stock. And he didn't need to boost his draft stock. I don't care if he came out and ran a 4.2 flat. I don't think he was going any higher than 6 in this draft. So smart move by Jaylen Waddle.
Very smart move. I'm not talking smack. I'm just saying for me as an investor.
Of course. But you see the speed on the field. You see the quickness on the field. You see the elusiveness on the field. And I know he missed a chunk of 2020 with an ankle injury, but he's not someone who I would identify as being injury prone. So we look at what we were able to see from him in 2020, 28 receptions for 591 yards and 4 touchdowns in 6 games, 21.1 yards per catch. So we know he's this explosive athlete that can literally take any pass, any run, any jet sweep, anything to the house. We saw him on deep balls. We saw him near the line of scrimmage. We saw him utilized in all sorts of different ways. At Alabama, he wasn't just a field stretcher. He was utilized all over the formation, which I love in Jaylen Waddle. He made plays on special teams as well. Tyler Lockett is a guy who had 3rd round draft capital, I believe, coming into the league, who was a special teams guy. And when he got started out, we saw him make punt return plays. We saw him make kick return plays. We saw him start to get worked in to that Seattle offense. And as time went on, he really developed into a full, complete NFL wide receiver. I think that's going to be the Jaylen Waddle route, but I think Jaylen Waddle is going to hit in the NFL before year 4 like Tyler Lockett did. I think we could see him on punt returns this year. I think we could see him on kick returns this year. I think we're going to see him utilized in the offense with Tua Tagovailoa. We look at what he did at Alabama, just so much efficiency in that limited sample size, 84% career catch rate at Alabama. That's phenomenal, especially when you factor in the yards per catch with that catch rate. So to me, the crazy high draft capital should silence any doubts about Waddle. I think he can develop into a full wide receiver 1. He's not that John Ross type that's just a straight line burner. I think he's better than Henry Ruggs, more of a complete player. So I think he's going to step into good target opportunity sooner rather than later. We look at the roster. They have Devante Parker, who's 28 years old. They have Will Fuller, who's on a 1-year deal, and he's suspended for game 1 this season. They have Mike Gesicki. So, yes, he could be that wide receiver 3 this year, but I think Will Fuller's not going to be in Miami next season. At that point, Devante Parker is going to be a year older. So I look at Jaylen Waddle. I expect him to come in, make some impact plays. No, he's not going to get the volume we want to see him get as a rookie. But looking into year 2, if Tua Tagovailoa really takes a step forward, like me and you both think he will this year, Steph, and he is the Dolphins wide receiver 1 with an older Devante Parker with no Will Fuller. I don't know how you can be out on Jaylen Waddle. To me, if you believe in Tua Tagovailoa, you got to believe in Jaylen Waddle, because in 2022, he's going to be the wide receiver 1 on this offense. So for me, he's my third ranked rookie wide receiver behind Jamar Chase and behind Devontae Smith, my 12th overall rookie in dynasty leagues. But in redraft, I think it could be a slow start this season. I think he could be a double-digit type of round pick with some upside, some wide receiver 3 type of consideration if he hits that big play. But I actually like the landing spot. I don't think it's one like a Devontae Smith where he's going to come in and just be a target hog, get a ton of volume share right away. But I think they're going to utilize him in the right opportunities. And the fact they picked him at 6 overall tells me that they have a plan for him.
It's interesting. It almost feels like they're hedging on that Will Fuller pick. They have this ideal role that looks something like Tua's deep ball. He had a fantastic deep ball in college. He didn't have that many deep ball attempts last year, but it did feel like the Dolphins were reeling Tua in, and that's why they had to put Fitzmagic back in there multiple times throughout the year. When they got behind, they got into these boat races, they're like, we don't feel comfortable letting Tua go out there and throw it 40 times a game like Joe Burrow did. I know they had one shootout game with the Kansas City Chiefs where he looked impressive, was not a world beater, was not an absolute game changer, but was very impressive, especially for a rookie quarterback in his first season. He had a 98th percentile college yards per attempt. We know Tua can sling the deep ball. Let's hope the injuries can be behind him and he can continue to ascend in this offense. I could see there being a connection there long term with Tua and Waddle. Just not a guy that I love. And to each their own, I'm definitely lower than consensus, and a lot of the points you made there are great points as to why Waddle is a guy that you can invest in 2021 rookie drafts.